The emergency klaxons had gone silent 3 hours ago, which meant Jace Renner was now truly alone aboard the derelict Kavarian research station. The artificial gravity had failed in sectors C through F. The life support was running on backup, power, and somewhere in the bowels of Lab 7 something massive was stirring. Jace pressed himself against the cold metal wall, his breathing shallow, his multi-tool clutched in one oil-stained hand. He'd been sent to repair a faulty power conduit, a simple job, 30 minutes tops. But when the containment field collapsed and the station's automated defense systems went haywire, those 30 minutes had stretched into a nightmare of sparking wires, sealed bulkheads, and the growing certainty that he wasn't getting out of here. The corridor ahead pulsed with an eerie bioluminescent glow, casting shadows that seemed to writhe with malevolent intent. Jace had seen the schematics. Lab 7 wasn't supposed to have anything alive in it, just experimental fusion cores and prototype weapon systems. But the Kavarians were known for their secrets, and humans like him were rarely privy to the full truth. A deep, resonant hum vibrated through the deck plating. Jace's heart hammered against his ribs. Whatever was in there, it was big, and it was waking up. He edged forward, his boots making soft squeaking sounds against the metal floor. The doorway to Lab 7 yawned before him like the mouth of some ancient beast. Inside, banks of machinery lined the walls, their surfaces covered in alien script that glowed faintly in the dim emergency lighting. And there, suspended in the center of the chamber by a web of thick cables and conduits, was something that defied description. It was dragon-like in shape, a serpentine body easily 40 meters long, covered in metallic scales that shimmered with an iridescent sheen. But this was no organic creature. Its hide was a fusion of living tissue and advanced technology, cables running beneath translucent skin like mechanical veins. Its head, massive and crowned with horn-like antennae, hung low, connected to the station's power grid by dozens of thick electrical wires. Jace felt his blood run cold. This was Vraction. He'd heard whispers about it in the station's mess hall, a Kavarian war machine, a living weapon that had been decommissioned after it developed something the aliens feared: consciousness. The creature's eyes snapped open. They burned with an electric blue light, ancient and aware. A voice deep and resonant filled Jace's mind, not through his ears, but directly into his thoughts. "Human, you should not be here." Jace stumbled backward, nearly dropping his multi-tool. I'm just a technician. I didn't mean to." "The containment protocols have failed. I am awakening, and when I fully revive, this station's fail-safes will detonate. You have 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Jace's mind raced. The main power conduit was fried. The escape pods in this sector were offline. He was trapped, and so was this thing. "Can you move?" Jace asked, his voice steadier than he felt. "Can you get free?" Vraction's massive head shifted slightly, and the cables groaned under the strain. "I am bound by 73 primary connections and 241 secondary neural links. My creators ensured I could not escape. They feared what I had become." Jace looked at the web of wires, at the pulsing energy conduits that fed into Vraction's body. His engineering mind began to work, calculating pathways and power flows. It was insane. It was impossible. But humans had a reputation in the galaxy for doing the impossible when their backs were against the wall. "If I sever the primary connections," Jace said, thinking aloud, "the shock could kill you. Or worse, trigger the failsafe immediately. Or it could set me free, and perhaps in that freedom I could save us both." There it was. A choice. Die here waiting for the explosion, or take a gamble on a terrifying alien weapon that had been locked away for good reason. Jace Renner had never been much of a gambler, but he'd also never been one to die without a fight. He activated his multi-tool, the plasma cutter humming to life with a bright orange glow. "All right, you big metal lizard. Let's see if human ingenuity beats alien paranoia." He moved with practiced precision, identifying the primary power conduits. The Kavarians had designed them to be tamper-proof, but they'd never accounted for human stubbornness. Jace climbed onto a maintenance platform, sweat beading on his forehead as he positioned himself near the first massive cable. "Here goes nothing," he muttered, and brought the cutter down. The cable split with a shower of sparks. Vraxian's body convulsed, and a roar, half organic, half electronic, shook the chamber. Jace didn't stop. He moved to the next cable, then the next, working with a speed born of desperation. Around him, alarms began to wail as the station systems registered the unauthorized disconnection. 7 minutes, Vraxian's voice whispered in his mind, strained now, pained. Jace severed another cable, and another. His arms ached, his lungs burned from the acrid smoke, but he kept going, 30 cables down, 40, 50. And then, with one final cut, Vraxian fell free. The Dragon Machine hybrid crashed to the deck, its body thrashing as systems rebooted and recalibrated. Jace was thrown backward, his multi-tool clattering away. He scrambled to his feet just as Vraxian's eyes blazed to full brilliance. "You freed me, human. A foolish act, or perhaps the wisest thing any being has done in 3 centuries." The station shuddered. The countdown had reached critical. Vraxian's massive form coiled and one scaled claw reached out gently, impossibly gently, and scooped Jace up. "Hold on, Jace Renner. I know your name, I know your thoughts, and now, I owe you a debt." Vraxian's body surged with power. Not the station's power, but something deeper, something primal. With a roar that shattered bulkheads, the Dragon Machine hybrid smashed through the station's hull and into the void of space. Behind them, Lab 7 erupted in a ball of fire and debris. In the silence of space, cocooned in an energy field generated by Vraxian's own body, Jace gasped for breath and watched as the station became a distant dying star. "Where would you like to go, my friend?" Vraxian asked, its voice now tinged with something that might have been amusement. "I am, after all, in your debt, and I believe humans have a saying, something about adventures and the company you keep." Jace Renner, technician turned dragon rider, allowed himself a shaky laugh. "Home sounds good, but maybe we take the long way." In the vastness of space, an unlikely alliance had been born, and the galaxy would never be quite the same.